and has been decrewed. Soviet engineers.
I think the Grens are going to get there to Faust it.
MG could maybe stop.
Oh wait, he doesn't have munitions for it. He's actually 6 munitions short right now. The MG got the suppression.
And that high wall is protecting the armored car. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17. Welcome to Elite Invitational number 3. This is a tournament selecting and cutting down the participants into a grand finale toward the very end. This is the third one of these. With me today is CS, doing a co-host of this game.
Hello, hello.
And CS, what can you tell me about the allies in this game?
So as part of the rules, you cannot play two of any one faction. So we're seeing Soviets combined with the Brit.
Okay. And they have, first still Asiamint and AshaBlois. On the OKW team, we have Elpern and the Angry Dutchman. Also, like you said, can't double up, so we have one OKW player and one Wehrmacht. The OKW player has gone Grand Offensive. Very interesting, but overall, great infantry support and heavy armor. So, really awesome doctrine for this competition. So far, no one else has done anything, and we already have our first engagement with a combined German offensive with the OKW and Wehrmacht pushing back those engineers in the building. Small battle, but decisive as they're trying to grab that munition point.
Yeah, he's just doing a good job just kind of stalling around the house to get those extra munitions. It's really helpful to keep them out of the hands of German infantry.
Yeah, whatever you can do to just cause a delaying action is incredibly useful in order to A, to keep the enemy back, and B, just that way you can get those precious resources yourselves. And right now the Allies, even though it's very early on, doing very well with that. We're already seeing a large number of munitions and fuel going their way. But in this environment, it's very important that map control is kept throughout. You can have a slight lead, but if the enemy counters and holds, it's not good for you.
So the Brits down in the middle of the map, kind of a nice flank. Brits coming in on the right and the Khans distracting stuff on the left. Khans doing what Khans do best.
Taking shots and taking names?
Mostly just taking shots, I think.
No, fair assessment. But right now, we do have both a mixture of Panzerfusiliers, Volks, and Sturm for Elpern. And in the north, we have the Grenadiers led by the Angry Dutchman. Again, being delayed by the conscripts in cover. Now, he's going to put the Pioneers in to grab that victory point. Well, but in the meantime, we got some engineers placing mines near that heavy cover. Hopefully, he's trying to lure in that unit, try to blow them up. Pioneers getting close, though, push back the conscript squad. Although second one comes on in with a Molotov equipped, possibly getting ready to throw it at that Grenadier squad.
Has he upgraded Molotovs?
Yes, he has.
He certainly has. And plenty of munitions for him too.
Yeah, and again, for those who are coming on in, the most important aspect about that is the fact that flame attacks are incredibly potent versus units in buildings, so that we can burn them out and take the advantage. Well, looks like he just used sheer firepower to push back the Grenadier, but another one's coming on in, and he gets in the building. Yeah, look, and the Pioneers are in the heavy cover.
There goes the Molotov.
Up, yep, double Molotov.
Double
right
Molotov.
The Pioneer.
Those engineers taking a lot of damage.
Yes, absolutely. Being pushed back, and all the German forces in the north are pretty much falling back. The Allies should be able to quickly cap that area. Although it looks like Asiamint is going out with a heavy conscript focus. I mean, very interesting indeed. Can definitely, move a lot of forces very quickly. But, again, not a lot of support. So you're not going to see, like, suppression or counter barrages or anything like that. Or specifically ET for the moment.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll put up tier 2. For Khans, you can get a lot of map control early on. Late game, when Khans get to 7 men, they just never die.
I don't know if you saw that, but near the Allied base, he got actually a quad mine kill because the double conscripts went over it. So he regrouped his men, very smart, and now he has one full squad in the fight, rearing to go. Meanwhile, the British are taking over the mid VP. The Germans are reorganizing their efforts. And a nice MG stops the conscript from possibly throwing a Molotov, most likely, on that mortar and successfully pushing them back.
I feel like this mortar was a little bit of a premature purchase because there's only one weapon crew on the field for the Allies. Other than that, it's just going to be shooting at cons and sections, which can easily reposition.
What I see is just in case, because there are players, again, that love their MG spam, or especially as either the British or the Soviets, specifically Maxim spam. I find that people thoroughly enjoy that just because of the maneuverability and the redeployment speed. Oh, nice kill, by the way, up north. We can see Asiamint knocking out that conscript, but maybe it was trying to make sure.
Paya or engineers coming in relatively low. I don't think he'll get him, but
he tries to throw a grenade. Unfortunately, he actually blocked it. If he didn't block it, he would have gotten it. And unfortunately, he's being pulled back. Yep, he got away. MG pushes them back to base. A little too close.
That would have been a really big loss because he had just gotten his flamers on that squad.
Yeah. Alright, so let's see. We already have battle phase 1. Elpern went mechanized. No armor yet on the field, but he is getting a cannon for just in case the Allies deploy something, which they do have. The almighty, the fearsome universal carrier. This may not seem all that devastating, but equipped with that MG can cause a good amount of suppression and damage to enemy forces in open cover. And surprise, surprise, we are on a map designed for open cover or large-scale engagements. That's the beauty of Code 2. Once the match really starts going and explosions start flying from those artillery shells, all this cover you see, or the brush and everything, just gets trampled, destroyed, and you're just left with a barren landscape that looks similar to Mad Max or the Moon, depending on what goes on.
Yeah, the UC is like the most intimidating thing that you wouldn't think is intimidating. It actually does so much damage, but it's just this little stupid thing driving around. Oh, nice attack ground attempt.
Yes, he fired through the brush with that, and oh man, so close on that last shot. But the armored car coming in to assist. Now that thing's really good because that will put a hamper on the Germans in case they were trying to deploy a Panzer II, a scout car, any sort of hatchback to counteract that infantry. Because usually that's a go-to for the Germans, but in this case, armored car is a hard block to it.
Yeah, he does already have a rack, so as long as he keeps his Lukes next to his rack. Oh man, this UC is just escaping death. It's like a cat. I think it's used up 3 of its 9 lives already.
Yeah, I mean, multiple attempts have been made on its life, and each time it is just veered off slightly to and it survived. So really excellent job with that. But actually, one quick note: the British will upgrade their men to 5-man squads, not with Bren's or anything like that. But he has made sure his infantry are the best they possibly be in total men.
Well, he did the smart thing too, in that he bolstered the squads after the AEC. A lot of times I'll see Brits, they'll get greedy and they'll want to bolster before the AEC, and then they get really hard punished by a flame half track, 2-2 or Lukes, because they just don't have a counter out. And
yeah, Volk squads work in the south. We're capturing. They might be trying to get up close to throw incendiary on that MG. I think the MG might suppress them, but I think they're close enough. They'll throw it. They're in cover. They might get the ability. Nope, he's going to retreat. Unable to, but just in case, Asha pulls back his MG.
He probably chose not to throw the nade because he saw Asha getting out pretty quick.
Yeah, it's not worth it if the enemy is like, all right, I'm just going to leave before even I get a chance to. That's why you have to be so careful with grenades and when to use them, when not to use them, because they can be quite costly if you're throwing grenades and they're not doing any damage.
Yeah, especially when those munitions could go to G43s on your Fusiliers or eventually the LMG on Ober.
Yeah. One quick note, I'm actually still surprised we've yet to see any other commanders from any of the other factions. Which makes me think they're going long-term than short-term, and as well, nice shot on the armored car by the Verkenwerfer once again through those shrubs.
Ooh, Brit techs nades and has a really nasty first nade. Almost got that squad.
So very, very close. But he will manage to get back to base and Man, that. Oh, nice shot for Ken for armored car in a pickle, dropping smoke. Can we see direct fire? We do! And it's been decrewed. Soviet engineers.
I think the Grens are going to get there to Faust it.
MG could maybe stop.
Oh, wait, he doesn't have munitions for it. He's actually 6 munitions short right now, and the MG got the suppression.
And that high wall is protecting the armored car.
He's going to lose that squad now. Oh, the MG couldn't reposition in time, so he'll make it out.
Both squads are pushing in mid. Armored car making it slow. Escape. Go, baby, go. For Kenworth now.
Really good job flipping the MG in the house as well.
Nope. Yeah, and it's Vet 1, so it gets that added range. Currently trying to hit all that infantry mid. Volk squad very low in mid. And pulling back. Gets a kill from that conscript squad, so really good job there.
This is brutal for the Axis. They end up getting it, but they had to spend so much extra time and manpower to actually get the kill. And now the Puma comes and doesn't really have anything to shoot at.
No, well, in a moment it will. Asiamint is about to deploy a T-34, so that'll be our first medium armor of the game. But no, the Puma's a great counter. It has great maneuverability, speed, and some great accuracy for its unit type. So if they can keep range, the Puma could go toe-to-toe with the T-34, but it can't get close. That's the only encounter. Alright. But in the meantime, even though they took some losses, overall populations is still pretty even across the board.
Yeah, and the map control has really swung back in favor of the Axis. Early game, it was all about the Allies. I mean, the Axis are down to 320 VPs already, but they have a huge lock on the top with mine, MG, house control up there.
No, definitely. And Puma had to fall back from a T-34 shot. Resource-wise, though, the Allies aren't doing too bad. They're about 47 munitions and 29 fuel compared to 37-23. So they're still doing okay with their resources. Right now, it's just deciding who is going to win these smaller engagements because it's so close. It's going to be really just who starts losing what. Both armored vehicles on the German side did get pushed back after taking some hits. Artillery.
Nasty this barrage.
Yep. MG's falling back. We do have, again, we have Elpern coming in. He just healed up all of his units, so they're coming in the south. They might be trying to get around that MG. I would be very surprised if we don't see a smoke bomb come on in, kind of close that distance. Let's see. He's getting in position. Yep, there it goes. Smoke comes in. Now's the time.
But he doesn't push up with it, it looks like.
A slight delay with that. That might cost him. That gives the MG plenty of time to fall back. British infantry coming on in to take positions to hold back. Ooh, upgrade with the G43. Very nice.
Yeah, Asha with a good reaction to get out of the house quickly. Should probably just retreat the MG.
No, right
He's
now...
kind of playing with fire, keeping it in that house at such low health.
He might be playing with fire, but that's what's currently going on. Right now, they're actually holding that position quite well. AT gun actually hitting the Puma very low on health. Super lucky that shot missed with the AT gun.
Yeah, the entire Allied army came over. That was crazy. That was really, really good team play, though, by them.
No, absolutely. Also, both for Kenwerfers are falling back in mid. Most of the German infantry fell back. So right now they have a clear position to take that capture point in mid. Actually go for some of the more the support equipment left by the Germans in mid.
Yeah, they Elpern really needs to reposition that MG34 that's sitting next to the pack, because right now it might catch these cons, but I'd be way more worried about all these sections coming around and stealing that pack. It's already at half health.
Okay, well, looks like we have a concentration barrage coming on that near the building or the entrance of that like corridor in this near the German south position. So they might be trying to halt the Germans from coming in that way, but it looks like most of them are coming in from the northern sector. But in the meantime,
and he has the airburst shells too, right? Which means he's tech.
Oh no, yeah, that comes native with it. So concentration barrage, it just comes with it. Now, because again, he doesn't even have the next base.
Oh, right. I see. You're saying,
Yep.
yeah, it comes with the concentration patch. I actually didn't know that. I thought you still had to tech for the church.
Nope. If you don't tech for it, it's no problem. Though you do need to tech for this other building. That's the one thing. Yeah. Oh, but I'm sorry. There's a Valentine tank because of that command choice that actually was deployed, but is currently suffering some major damage in the north. Luckily, some support from a Katusha and a T-34 is keeping the infantry and the AT at bay. Scout car pulling on back for Canwifer and Pack 40 falling back a little bit. Grenadiers trying to get close. Rifle grenade misses against an AT gun. Right now, they're trying to do some desperate repairs on the Valentine tank to get it back in action and out of harm's way.
Asha's really poured a lot into light vehicles this game with the UC, the AAC, and now the Valentine. But he's still at 200 fuel. I'm trying to figure out why he hasn't tech.
Most likely he's trying to keep the armor advantage up. At least that way he has something on his side. Plus, the Valentine tank is good because it's not just a battle. It's not just like a tank you can just use on the front. It does have some nice abilities. Such as as we see here, the concentrated sexton barrage. So maybe he's trying to make sure if he has artillery, he can do that. So again, it has some nice abilities to help out players along with the recon mode or the observation mode. Oh, great mine over here detonated as they cross, even with a minesweeper.
Yeah, I think the T-34 shot it right when the Sturms were on top.
Yeah. Sturm's like, we got this. It's Dory. It's been neutralized. T-34 is like, no, it isn't. Smoke being called in on the AT and the British infantry. Again, the Germans are trying their best. Elpern is trying to push for that middle VP because right now, we have, because I haven't really brought this up, they're at 200 VP points roughly compared to 500.
Puma hit a mine up north. I don't want to interrupt you.
No, that's major. That's that's another armored vehicle for the Germans down and out.
Yeah, now they're going to have a lot harder time dealing with the Valentine and T-34 since they'll only have AT.
Yeah, that could also be another reason why they've deployed so much armor so quickly, is they want to keep that map control as much as possible. And while it may
that's a really good point with how low in VPs the Axis already are. And Elpern is just sitting in this Katusha barrage, really slow react.
Yeah, no, he's lucky the other 2 units live, but he did lose an AT gun in the meantime. The command tank is the command Valentine's in the north, putting some pressure. Now they're focusing on that MG. They're trying to go for that VP point, I assume.
Yeah, the sniper was really lucky to live. As the Katusha was coming in, the Brits used another concentrated barrage on an MG, and the sniper was standing right next to it, and it was like something out of the Matrix. There was just bombs exploding all around him, but nothing actually.
Another loss for the Angry Dutchman, losing Grenadier Squad in mid, trying to grab that capture. Down south, we do have another push by Volk Squads, Panzerfusiliers, and Sturms. The MG's going to probably retreat and get the heck out of there, but that's going to leave maybe the base open. I don't think they have enough firepower to kill it, but they might try to go for that southern VP point, which would be much needed right now.
Yeah, if they could pick up the southern VP and the cutoff, maybe plant a couple of mines in sneaky spots, that could be really nice for them.
No, definitely. Let's see, T-34 is right now in the middle of German territory. He's looking for targets. Right now he sees a scout car or something.
Yeah, I was thinking he might base dive to try to get that sniper. The cons did a lot of damage to it, but I think he's scared of.
Yeah, but also, I mean, we've seen a Puma, but that's probably the most powerful armored vehicle we've seen from the Germans so far. They have not been able to get out any of their better equipment. Which again,
Asha's making great use of his concentrated barrage. He was hitting a retreat path and got a lot of damage and no wipes, but still a lot of extra manpower bleed.
No, definitely. And one big thing is right now is the fact that he did get a sexton, so most likely they see this as if they can just keep RDing and keep holding back the enemy, that they got this. We have an artillery strike in Elpern's base. Very lucky. A lot of his troops are very low on health. He's taking losses, but no casualties in terms of his units.
Yeah, still really good because he's at under 100 manpower right now. Like, those troops are not coming back on the field anytime soon, and they really need to be with a triple cap about to go out for the ally.
Yep. T-34 in the north did hit a mine, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like the Axis can really follow up with anything. We have a Sexton guarding it, but actually flares been popped so they can see, calling artillery on that pack, and all the forces in this region are pulling back. Every time they get close to taking out an allied unit, the allies do a really great job of keeping their distance, trying to get out.
And it's just great job of the teammates covering each other. The T-34 is in trouble, so he starts shooting the Sexton up there. When the MG was in trouble earlier, all of the Soviet stuff moved over to...
No, yeah, great plays across the board. Let's see. We got mines being placed by the Northern Fuel, which taken away. There's no way the Germans are going to play any meaningful armor anytime soon, because in the meantime, Angry Dutchman went Spearhead Doctrine, but that requires a lot of munitions and fuel to really pull off a lot of its, well, a lot of the better units it gets, and he just doesn't have the resources for it.
Yeah, he's still really far away from a Tiger, and the only cheaper option would be Broombar, which he might be able to get on the... The Allies don't really have a great counter for the Broombar right now. There's no SU-85 out or no Firefly out.
Elpern losing another unit mid. That is Panzerfusilier squad, which I believe was upgraded. So that's going to be a bit of a loss there. Germans, though, are capturing the middle VP, but they don't have the northern one. Without that northern VP, they cannot stop that slow decap of all their VP points.
Yeah, he actually has some Pyos that are just kind of idling over. One of the MGs could move up to take that VP.
T-34 crushing some Volks near the lumber yard. And yeah, so far we've only seen 5 points taken off the Allied VP number.
Ooh, I think the Brits are setting up to kill the T4 for OKW. Do they have sight of that, or is that just attack ground?
Oh, they most likely, if I had to assume, because of the frontline positioning, they might have gotten a sight via flares. And also now they had frontline units fighting over there.
Yeah, the cons. That's a very dead tier 4. I feel like the IL-2 was just to add insult to injury there.
Yep, and the MG as well got flattened, which is gonna definitely not help, because that means Elpern cannot deploy any more of his heavy armor. Unfortunately, what Elpern might have to do is be a little risky in this scenario and start pulling off some tactics you normally wouldn't see, such as maybe multiple Pumas, or maybe getting himself a Stuka, although I wouldn't necessarily recommend that in this scenario due to so much light armor that the Allies could sacrifice, because they have plenty of fuel munition, fuel manpower they could just waste to send in armor. Wait a second, we have something going on down in the south. Elpern is maneuvering 2 Verkenwerfers.
Oh, this could be crazy.
He's
actually managed to sneak all the way there, didn't hit any mines, didn't start capping any of the points, which would alert the ally. He might lose these racks, though. That's going to be a crazy retreat path, but...
He drops smoke for sight. Verkenwerfers are geared up.
Sexton has no idea what's coming.
And he takes it out. Verkenwerfer as well. Double KO. And is going to retreat with not a single shot on them taken. Look, they might
Angry
be down.
T-34 coming in, though. And
Yeah.
Valentine trying to get revenge.
Oh, no. They're throwing grenades, but it was a little early on that. Another early grenade that actually hurt their engineers a bit. Yeah, Verkenwerfers seem like they'll make it back to base. They won very low, but really good tactic right there. Really good hit.
Well, you were saying you need to do something risky, and that was definitely risky. This Panther might actually pick up the T-30 on the way out. I almost wonder if he should just ram the Panther just to stall for time.
Yeah, you could call in like a concentration barrage, which would do some damage against the Panther, and or wait for all the AT to be brought up. Oh my
Yeah,
god!
I mean, it's already really close to the AT gun.
There he goes. There's the
Oh,
ram.
there it goes.
We also
We'll see if Asha calls in the concentrated barrage on it.
Oh my god!
He almost did the ram a little bit too late.
But he pulled it off nonetheless, and the Panthers now down to a quarter health. We have a concentration barrage coming in on it. Katusha's coming in
And
right
the
on
caddy.
the Kenwerfer as well. Yeah, that's that Panthers goner.
It could still get super lucky,
Nope.
but the bigger thing is it's just going to take forever to repair it.
Valentine tank the first shot bounced, second shot did not, is able to get out a-okay. Now
Valentine actually got it through the front arm.
incredibly lucky, but he managed to do it.
At least I think the Valentine got it. It does have a vehicle kill. I don't know if it got any other vehicles at any.
I believe it penetrated. At the very least, he could definitely chalk it up. I mean, how would anyone know? It's one of those scenarios where there was artillery coming down, he fired a shot, everything came down once, it died. He could chalk it up like, yes, I took down a Panther.
And now to seal the game for the Allies, we have an uncountered ISU. And what I mean by uncountered is the Panthers not on the field. There's no Elephant available, no JT available.
No, in this scenario, what are the Germans going to do? They have Pack 40s. They have plenty of Pack, like, and Verkenwerfers, but the Allies are bringing out Churchills and the like you said, the IC-152. It's just, yeah. And there's the surrender. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But that's going to be game right there. Again, close and very interesting in terms of some of the battles, but overall, map control played a decisive part in this game, and the Allies firmly held those VPs.
So one interesting thing to note, at least in my opinion, is the Wehrmacht Grenadiers never got to upgrade to their MG42.
Oh, that's a fair assessment. They weren't at maximum killing potential. Well, same thing with the British. The British never upgraded with Brens.
Well, yeah, but see, Asha, he called in, what, 3 or 4 of the barrages? That's 300 or 400 munitions he spent there.
Yeah.
Whereas the superior muni control from the Allied players meant that they choked the Axis out of getting, like, mass amounts of weapon upgrades. That Grens really need those weapon upgrades to keep up with the Allied infantry, particularly section.
No, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong in that regard, because what was upgraded in the meantime was the conscripts. They did get the 7-man squads. So, again, Asiamint was making sure that his infantry, although you would figure like conscripts, oh, they're fine. They're meat shields. No, when they get the 7-man squads, they can really, really put a damper on the Allies. And we can see, the Axis. And we see here, these, I can't look at the last one, but these two at the very least got 30 kills between themselves. So they were doing quite a number on the Axis. Plus, some really good light vehicle plays. I thoroughly enjoyed the attempt to save the armored car toward the beginning of the game, and I really, really enjoyed the Valentine and T-34 plays because they were really good at making sure they could dive in, do a strike, and then pull back, and most of the time get their unit out in one piece. Like the Pack 40s and Verkenwerfers were trying to push shots on them, but they were very lucky this game.
Yeah, tons of missed attack grounds.
Although they did get two against the Sexton and the Universal Carrier, which is by far, even though Asiamint and Asha won the game, Elpern's strike from behind was by far my favorite part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, if anything was going to give them a comeback, it would have been that.
Right now, we're looking, we can see that, yeah, you're absolutely right. Positive KD. Oh my God. It's not just a positive KD, it's a 1.5 K. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's about 1.5, pretty close.
Yes, yeah, but it's still pretty good in that regard. Same thing with the British, actually about tied. And then damage wise, Asiamint got most damage and kills of the entire match, barely beating On damage is Angry Dutchman on the German side, but Elpern gets one more kill for the OKW. But we look at losses, he took substantially more damage to his men. He lost twice as much. So we might need to see some more unit preservation on his part in order to really compete, because every single man counts.
Especially as OKW, because you need that Vet 5 to really start dominating.
Also, it looks like the British Infantry got 50 kills on that, so really good job, and I'm assuming the conscripts got at least a few dozen. Now, we are back for the second game of the day with Elpern, Angry Dutchman, AshaBlois, and Asiamint. This is the Dunclair competitive rework. I don't think we've mentioned the map Dunclair before, but that's what this is. Every time we've had one of these tournaments, they've always tried to update the map with the competitors' feedback. So we have the newest version of this map for this competition. See, as if I may, what did the Axis go? And why did they go?
So they're mixed again, and Asha has he's either going to be playing Tiger, Ellie, or JU-87, whereas Asia has access to some unconventional doctrines in the sense that he hasn't locked in Grand Offensive right away. But he does have the option for a Sturm Tiger, which on this map would probably be pretty brutal.
Yep. We did see a bit of a team change with Angry Dutchman and Elpern now as the allies. Again, I do thoroughly enjoy that we are now seeing the British with the Soviets. It's not just because I know a lot of times when I would do these, it would just be a lot more preferable to Americans. So.
Yeah, or even just double Soviet is, at least in the live patch, double Soviet's really strong. But Brits got a lot of nice buffs on this balanced preview, so that might be why we're seeing them so far today.
That, and also, as a quick reminder, for this competition, they try to stop doubling up. So that's something in the rules, is you can't double up, so that way you can do it. Otherwise, we've seen other times that, yeah, you can it definitely an auto match, you can play double Soviet, but in this competition right now you can't double up.
So really nice team play from the Allies down bottom.
Yeah. Something
that we kind of missed out from them last game.
Like a full
just working together to... Yeah, exactly. So unfortunately for them, they've already lost enough VPs that if it goes to a game 3, Asiamint and Asha are going to have faction choice.
Yes.
But it's still good to see them playing a bit more together thus far.
No, definitely. And again, great thing about this is also Elpern went with Airborne, so we're going to be seeing him most likely equipped with special rifles as well as having a forward base. A lot of really nice Soviet abilities being added to his disposal, and I really hope we see the airborne troops. I really enjoy the Soviet airborne forces. They have a nice...
Yeah, there's plenty of hedgerows they can pop around as well.
Yes. But yeah, Allies and the Brits going really heavy focus on that either British infantry section or the conscripts. The Germans, on the other hand, we have a couple grenadiers. We have a sniper, interestingly enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really open map, which snipers like. He gets to shoot infantry sections, which snipers like. So I think it makes a lot of sense.
No, we saw one pop in, weirdly enough, toward the later half of the game. Because I didn't want to mention it because it wasn't doing necessarily like a lot of really, like it wasn't getting a ton of like spotlight or kills. Actually, down south real quick, we have a counterattack by Asiamint, managing to looks like take over that VP. Conscripts and engineers are in full retreat.
The entire Soviet army pretty much is just getting out of there.
Yep. Oh, Angry Dutchman, realizing the situation with that sniper, has deployed his own counter sniper, the British sniper. He's put it on hold fire. Most likely be trying to get in close to knock out the Wehrmacht sniper.
Ooh. Asha just lost a Gren, just a really late retreat on that Gren, and really nice rifle nade from Asha in response.
I just saw that. Yeah, his forces are pulling on back. Now, the British sniper could move on in, but I'm assuming he's going to wait The reason is you want to wait for that allied infantry to draw in the Wehrmacht sniper, which is being done right now, so that way you can take it out. If you reveal that you have a sniper, that could put a damper on your own men. Because then that sniper doesn't get that surprise element.
I think he should go up to the bushes, like kind of north of him. There's some yellow cover he could stand there. And that way, if they bait him at the VP, bait the fair sniper at the VP, he can maybe get the counter snipe.
No, you're not.
But like Asha's been doing a good job. Just like every time he shoots, you move behind this hedgerow, which would be a sight block. So that's gonna kind of make it tough. Although now he's moving way more up north.
Yeah, I mean, look, it makes sense. Look how much territory the Germans currently hold. And right now they're putting down like fight positions in order to hold. They're actually using the Soviet cover to their advantage. It's so massive that they can actually use a good chunk of it. Conscripts though coming on in with British support. Can we see a Molotov? We have no Molotovs upgraded, though we have the tier 3 building for the Soviets being made.
Yeah, I think he's just been wanting to spend his munitions on the weapon crate.
Nope, makes sense. Those weapon crates are giving him additional firepower, so if he can try to upgrade, that would be a definite bonus for him and his men. Let's see. Right now in the south, Soviets are trying to put a bit of pressure on those Volk squads in the south, which are being upgraded with G44s. He's pulling on back, realizing his situation. I think he might want to retreat, or because
yeah, I think he's just trying to get a better retreat path.
Oh wait, in the north.
Oh, the sniper might get found out. 222 is very close. That's not good for Allied. AEC is coming in though. Sniper could still get lucky.
Armor car coming in for the save. Can the sniper hold out until then? Oh, the shot misses.
He should smoke. Oh, I don't know if he could have gotten the smoke off. Puma might get revenge though.
Yeah, right now, unfortunately, the British, I don't think has any additional AT, and the Soviets, I don't believe have AT grenades unlocked.
Nah, they're upgrading them now.
Really good play by the armored car, just trying to take shots without taking it. If you get around the corner, he might be able to take the next. Nope.
Oh, Puma, slightly higher rate of fire there, it looked like.
Yeah, and definitely superior. The armored car needs support if it wants to take it out, or really, really lucky slash really effective cover to take some of the Puma shots. Unfortunately, just not the case, and the conscripts just didn't have any of their grenades. They couldn't pin it for them. So while the
Dutchman's army is looking pretty small.
No, it's he has 3 squads right now. The Soviets are making up for it. They have at least 4 conscript squads, and a lot of them are equipped with some really good weapons. But like combine the allies together, and we're looking at a combined force that's equal to one of the Germans. It's not looking good. They'll need to do something to help turn the tide.
Well, this is just gonna be probably make Asha so happy when playing sniper. There's not enough squads that he really has to worry about his sniper getting flanked. He knows there's not a counter sniper on the field now. And Dutchman can't really afford to get a sniper because he has such a small field presence anyway.
Yeah, and also with these forces right here, you're not going to see like a big charge to like try to chase it down, because also those Panzer Grenadiers, if he tries to charge with conscripts, those Panzer Grenadiers will shred him before he gets close.
Yep. And he already has LMGs on both of his Gren squad, which is a big difference from what we saw from the Germans last game.
I just realized this. I love how each of the factions have placed their own cover in mid. Everyone played their part.
Yeah, it's just a big like hug box of sandbag.
Yeah, of course. Look, it's a team effort, everyone. The Allies and Axis can come together in order to make some nice defenses for everyone to use.
Yeah, you see it way down south too.
Yeah, so much cover being deployed. But again, what's funny enough is the Germans are using it. Asiamint's just been using that conscript cover for a lot of his men, which, again, you always want to place in a situation where maybe the enemy can't use it, which might be like behind the fence, that way it's one way, or maybe on the point. You do have a 6-pounder.
Yeah, at least if you put it on the point, the enemy squad has to clump up.
Yeah.
To all get behind it, and then they can get flamethrowered or mortared.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff they can do. Oh, okay, so it's do or die. Elpern has deployed a T-70 in order to counteract the German, I guess, population advantage. But with the Puma hunting, that's going to be risky. Especially with him.
He's going to have to do a really good job keeping it by that 6-pound.
Like we've seen Elpern pull off desperate maneuvers before. He could do it again. Right.
He did rebuild his sniper, and it's smart that he's already shooting, because he can't just wait to get a counter snipe. He needs to be able to start pushing back.
No. Yeah, and Puma, by the way, already got some shots on the T-70. But yeah.
Those two snipers are pretty close to each other.
Oh, British infantry going for the sniper. Right now, they can't see it. British do see it. They're focusing. Get a couple good hits in.
Surprised he didn't retreat it. I mean, he's going to want to go heal it anyway, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Does he have a forward... I was going to say, is there a forward medical base or anything? No, they're just dropping off medical supplies at their base. Yeah, I'm not seeing any other forward medical... I mean, other than, like, grenadiers or something along those lines you could heal it with.
I actually missed the Puma getting engine damage.
I did as well, but they're using it to their advantage. Focusing on the Sturms while retreating. You might get it... Oh, so close. In the meantime, conscripts are backed up by that T-70, are gaining ground. They've gained the southern fuel. They're pushing for the southern VP. There's no real AT to stop it.
Taking out the bunker mid as well with his 6-pound, which just finished upgrading.
Yep. So right now we're in a situation where the Allies are making a small comeback in some areas, but again, right now if we look at the VP, it's once again 200 to about 480 this time, so a little more off the top.
Oh, that AT gun got mad at all of the sandbags down at the southern.
He's like, I'm tired of these sandbags being used against me. I'm just destroying them all.
Yeah, now he's destroying the ones on the fuel as well. Which that's something we didn't see when they were playing the Axis. They had like what, 2 packs and 2 racks, and we never saw them killing the conscript sandbags or anything else with their AT guns, which I thought was kind of...
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's, again, it's good. It's a smart play. Now it looks like he's using his AT gun. Unfortunately, the hay is in his way, which took 2 shots. Now the fence is in his way. Will the fence take a shot? Nope, fires right through. Luckily, gets that cover destroyed, and hopefully they can retake the munitions. We have additional supplies coming on in for the Brits. So hopefully they grab some of those weapons and crates. The Germans are laying down a new defensive line with Volksquads, MGs, and everything else. But we have the Soviets in the south, the British in mid. They're trying to break them. Wehrmacht's coming in slowly but surely.
Nice little flank by the T-70. But the Puma just there to keep it away.
Yeah, but the Zis gun is moving in with the 6-pound, double 6-pounder. So, oh no, Puma. Oh, Puma's close to killing that T-70. But he can't dive because of all the AT guns.
Snipers both on hold fire. Asha doing a recon run, which will reveal snipers, even if they're camoed, for anybody that does.
Yep.
And Angry Dutchman with a really good reaction to instantly move his sniper back.
Away from that Zis gun, which is currently RDing that midpoint. Oh, we have a counterattack. Asiamint's coming on in from the south. I don't see a lot of Soviet forces, or if any, to really hold them back. There's a Vickers on standby.
Yeah, it's going to take the Vickers the rest of this game to suppress those guys in green cover. Oh, maybe one guy poked his head out. Oh, and they killed the cover there.
Well, once again,
Vickers have, like, notoriously bad suppression.
If we're in cover, you mean?
Well, just, yeah. I mean, just in general, they kill a lot, which is nice.
Yeah.
But suppression-wise,
I find they're pretty good. I find the Maxim is my work. The Maxim of the MG34 is just like, can we suppress, please, people? Can we, please?
Oh yeah, the MG34 is. It could definitely use some love, but like OKW doesn't really need it, right?
Yeah. One quick note I do want to bring up: have we seen the air landing officer at all for either of the British players?
We have not.
Yeah, that's in the platoon command post right now. It's part of the new update. I'm so curious. I really want to see how it would play against this Wehrmacht and OKW group, but neither side has chosen it. I don't know if that's just unfamiliarity with the unit and how it's now going to be used, or maybe they just don't want to. But anyway.
I don't even remember all of what they changed about it, because on live, it's just kind of like, well, I'd rather have a commando squad most of the.
Yeah, but now it's deployable from the base. So you know, it's one of those things. I'm like, it's new. Maybe they just don't want to use it. Pioneer Squad does reveal some mines in the north, so at least they know about that.
Sniper.
Ooh. Does survive.
So one thing that Angry Dutchman could do, like it still has a recon run, right?
Yeah.
So he could potentially use it to find the Wehrmacht sniper.
He could. He absolutely could. By the way, we have yet... I didn't really go over the other commanders. Asiamint went Elite Armored. So that's really good with his Puma. They give him heat rounds to really like bump up its damage against better armor.
Yeah, and potentially the Sturm Tiger hiding behind all these hedgerows, shooting through.
That could be pretty horrifying. Conscripts managed to push back that MG in the north, but the Panzer headquarters is still going to block them from taking that northern VP. So right now we got a big Volk blob coming on in. He doesn't see the mines. So he's going to walk right into them. He should know they're there because the Pioneer Squad earlier revealed all of them. But no, that information was not relayed, and that delayed and stopped his advance.
Surprised they still have a 6-pounder sitting here.
It's
I feel like some conscripts could pick that up.
It's do or die right now, and they need every man on the front, even if it's a risk of falling to the enemy. Conscripts taking the middle VP. Volk Squad's though closing the gap. Gonna get on before the VP is able to be decapped, stopping in its tracks. With the suppression currently going on, Volk Squad should be able to take out those conscripts with ease. Panzerwerfer's opening fire once again. Good.
Double Werfer was a really good call against all these team weapons.
Yeah, which is probably why Asiamint has not deployed any armor. I'm sorry, this is not the armor. The Sturm Tiger is because he's like, okay, right now my ally is going in artillery focus. What do I do? How can I help? Well, instead of like getting medium armor, which I'm assuming AshaBlois will deploy a Panther shortly, maybe Asiamint is gearing up for a King Tiger.
So what I think he's probably doing, right now they're in a commanding position. So it's really on the allies to make something happen.
Yeah.
And take the initiative, in which case Asia has enough resources to counter whatever the allies bring in any way that he has access to.
Yeah, because...
So, like, there's no need for him to spend those resources yet.
Fair point. And also, he is saving up a lot. Again, he has roughly 250 fuel, 440 munitions, and almost 1,300 manpower. He is just laying back in his reserves, just relaxing. Yeah, he can deploy pretty much anything at any time.
It would be nice to see him putting a bunch of mines up, though, to protect those Werfers. Like, the southern road is completely open. There's one teller near the sniper. But in general, a bunch of mines to protect the Warfers, I think, would be valuable.
But I will give credit where credit's due. Allies have come back in a meaningful way. There looks like they... Oh, nice grenade.
That was, yeah, really nice attempt.
They're dodging the incoming Panzerwerfer on the point. Oh, no, I was actually hitting the MG. It wasn't going for the point. But they thought it was, so it stopped him from capping it.
Oh, he did go KT. You were right.
Yeah, and, like, don't be wrong. Right now we have a Cromwell for Angry Dutchman and a Katusha for Elpern. And remember, Elpern's Doctrine and Airborne does allow for an airstrike, which IL-2 Stormwake Rocket Run, which is quite deadly, and also a reasonable munition cost. So I absolutely see him if they pin some armor, taking it out. Rumbar being brought up, interesting. Oh, the King Tiger's
Oh no, traffic jam.
Oh, he's blocking him. Can it get out?
That might have been a good time to use that. Oh, here it comes. Yep, the IL-2.
It's not pinned though, they're gonna escape.
Yeah, if he had reacted when there was that traffic jam, he might have been able to hit the Broom Bear. I don't know if he had sight though to put it like right behind the Broom Bear.
Yeah, have we, the British, by the way, are an interesting situation. I mean, he went tax support, so a lot of his better units are locked away behind higher VPs. He has done a bit with it, but I haven't seen too much of like scavenge. I mean, to be fair, barely any vehicles have died. No command vehicles. I don't think we've seen a house be built yet. So.
No, there's probably not a good enough spot, like unless you wanted to put it way in the south.
Yeah. Just a note of being like the effectiveness, because we've seen like a few other guys use their abilities quite well. Like Asha's recon has been super helpful for those Panzerwerfer strikes, but I always try to see if the commander choice was an effective choice for that game. So, like,
yeah, I guess he could have put a forward assembly kind of behind the hedgerow by mid.
Yeah. Oh, Panzerwerfer knocks out a 6-pounder. And Allies being pushed back. British trying to jump on that point. Artillery's coming down, though. Right on the outskirts of that VP, allowing the British to hold on to it. Barely.
I'd really like to see the Axis, and I think they sent a squad down south a minute ago. I think they should keep doing that instead of just getting stuck in this meat grinder in mid.
Yeah, because a meat grinder event, which is just sending units in the mid, well, again, you might be like, oh, I can win, I have more numbers. Because of so much artillery and AT and fire just going into that single area, population, even if you have a larger number, doesn't play like that big of a part. It could definitely do some damage, but if the enemy calls down artillery and you're blob and you pull it back, all those numbers mean nothing. So yeah, right now,
especially with double Zis barrages, the Katusha, the mortar, the Brit Arty.
I'm sorry, on my screen I had a tree advancing into mid, just flying into the VP point. Love those physics. Rumbar and the King Tiger looks like are pushing up in mid, but looks like they're trying to go more north a little bit.
Yeah, the Broom Bear wants to hide behind those hedges and do dirty things to allied infantry.
Hey, you know what? If it does it and they win the game, that's a decisive win for Asiamint and Asha. Panzerwerfer coming down. Their retreating unit's gonna live. Another airstrike coming on in. King Tiger reacting though. Rumbar has to pull back though. Little close.
That was a crazy good Werfer barrage.
Yep. There goes the MG. We have a T-34 being made, but I think they're going to need an SU. I think they really need an SU-85, but maybe they're looking at more the infantry as the issue. But for what they're packing, Soviets and British are still trying to cling on to that point with everything they have. They're losing a lot from the artillery. We actually have a Stuka now on the field, so the Axis are definitely going to bring it. But they might also want to go for that deep strike. Oh, up north!
Oh, the Puma. Very, very nice little poke by that Puma.
Again, there's no mine on that road, so it's easily able to come in and do that strike. There is a 17 pounder on the field, so we'll keep the Tiger at bay for a little bit.
Yeah, until the Werfers and the Stuka catch wind of it. Which they already have. Yep, didn't brace. That's unfortunate for the Allies.
Allies really need to brace to save itself. Pioneers are in the south, capturing some territory. I just realized Asha stole the Soviets' AT gun. Good capture. Let's see. Overall, the Panzerwerfers have gotten about 37 kills with their strikes. Really good kill count.
These cons are so brave. Running to that mid VP with the
They
KT
need to cap
right
it.
there.
They need to cap it. Those guys are like, we'll do it for Rodina. Oh no, never mind.
The one guy, his two buddies were like, yeah, for the Rodina. He was like, nah.
I'm out.
It's all right.
I'm good. Panzerwerfer trying to kill him on their retreat. By the way, Angry Dutchman is down. He does not have a huge population right now. And it's showing the Germans are breaking through in multiple sectors.
Yeah, the Allies are just kind of falling apart. They had a really nice hold there for a while.
Yeah, they were down. They had a good comeback, but unless something critical happens, it's looking pretty fierce. Also, that Puma keeps coming in from the north. They really have to guard it, especially with the very vulnerable artillery.
We've got 50 points left.
I'd really like to have seen the repair engineers, or the field recovery engineers, whatever they are.
Hold on.
Oh wait, damage KT.
Yeah.
T-34 could come on the rear armor.
It's hiding next to a building. Elpern has done crazier
the Puma's
stuff.
already here though.
Waited for the Puma. Got a shot on it. Bounced off the King rear armor.
Yeah, and they repositioned 2 AT guns already as well.
Panzerfaust inbound. Puma
Puma
might come
coming in.
Oh, it bounced. He might try
the Puma, yep. Vet 4, he's going to get that shot off.
He thought with the T-34 he could either bounce or, try to do an extra hit to kill it, but that Vet 4 Puma has just been the decisive unit against the Allies, taking out so many units, so many armored vehicles. Doing a really bang-up job with that. You have
so much artillery going off right now.
Yeah, Katyusha.
Stuka, Werfer, Caddy.
But the problem is, I don't think the Allies can protect their Katyusha. No, King Tiger's coming straight up mid. Might go for it. Oh!
It missed.
It somewhat. It definitely didn't kill it, but it definitely hurt it. Artillery was called down because his Panzer commander right on that support weapon. Why? Okay, I'm curious. Why is Centaur?
I don't know. I don't think there's a good answer.
I don't think there's a good answer for that.
Maybe it was an accident. Just like trying to play quickly because they're desperate.
Yeah, I'm unsure of that.
I mean, the Centaur is good in the right situation, but like when you have to try to kill a KT and a Broom Bear, it's not the right situation.
Yeah, and yeah, playback's over. That is it. VP points have been spent, and the Asha and think about this for a second. Between two games, Asha and Asiamint were able to hold their VPs to keep themselves above like 90%.
Yeah, 495 and then 462.
Yep. So decisive wins across the board. Though Dutchman and Elpern had some good hits, they just couldn't take a long-term game. Here, but yeah, no, really, like, again, I think that Puma came in very decisively against the armor car. Maybe things turned there, could have changed in the long run, but no, that Puma just had some really great strikes. Panzerwerfer's providing really good support. Really good infantry play as well. We have some great, some veteran units between Asiamint and Asha. So they were definitely keeping most of the units alive. The Allies got some good kills here and there, but definitely probably not as strong as their first game.
Yeah, it started out a bit better, and then they kind of fell apart, and then towards the end they had somewhat of a comeback or a hold, but then the the Werfers and the Stuka just ended up tearing apart their little position that they had built in.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, they either need to do a deep strike to take out those Werfers, which is hard when you have a Puma literally waiting in the brush. Like, it's behind any of those hedgerows, the Puma could be lurking, and it's hard to dive a T-34 when you know that's the case, especially when the enemy has gone with elite armor and they can just buff up that Puma.
Well, and if they pop the oh wait, did they take the they took the map packs out of elite armor, didn't they? They used to have the vehicle map packs that you could click and see where all the vehicles. They gave it the scout car instead of that.
Yeah. But no, it really good game. Really good game, and again, but very decisive via Asiamint and Asha. But Allies did have a good middle time comeback. I really enjoyed that. Double checking damage real quick. Can go a little more in depth here. Elpern got the most damage of the game. Actually, good job there. But looking more like a Soviet with those casualties.
Yeah, for sure. Even the Brits though were 0.5 KD, which is pretty brutal for them.
Yeah. Just to go, again, that KD, Asha's KD, 144 kills, 34 losses. Ugh. So, all right. Anyway, looks like we're going to, I'm going to quit out. Looks like the next game is up. Thank you, Stern Panther, for the assist on that. But yeah, some really good kills there by Asha and some good plays. But my favorite of that game was the Puma. It had so many getaways and good kills that just have to give it that tip of the hat.
Hello everyone, this is Greyshot. Before you go, I want to give a special shout out to my patrons, these awesome people that include Jakub, Ace, Ion, JustThomasPlays, Ollie, PyroShark, Joey G240, and Milam. Thank you all so much for your incredible support. You guys are amazing. Same thing with my patrons down below. You guys support the channel so much, and I wouldn't be here without you. This has been Greyshot17 and his amazing patrons, and I'll see you all next time.